As soon as you enter Marcus Rashford's house in Manchester, the world goes silent. The light glides through high glass walls. Cold stone conveys tranquility. Every line seems controlled and deliberately placed. It is a place that stands in complete contrast to the fire he ignites on the pitch. Here, pressure transforms into silence, expectation into balance. But this stillness is no coincidence. It is the result of a long journey. How did Rashford create this sanctuary for himself? And what really lies behind this quiet world? To understand how this retreat could come to be, we must look at the foundation that made it possible. Marcus Rashford's financial base rests on a clear figure, an estimated net worth of around $25 million. The most stable pillar is his contract at Manchester United. With a weekly salary of over $300,000, a steady, reliable core of his annual income is formed. However, his income doesn't end with a fixed salary. Performance-based bonuses play a crucial role. Goals, assists, appearances, and team successes turn every season into a series of financial milestones. Every precise run, every finish, and every decisive action on the pitch pays off twice, sportingly and economically. In addition, there is international football. Appearances for England at World Cups and European Championships bring structured match fees, qualification bonuses, and high-performance payments. A single tournament can bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars, while simultaneously increasing his global market value. Sponsorship deals with international brands further expand this foundation. Fashion, lifestyle, and advertising make Rashford a constant economic force. But is all this just luck, or the result of years of discipline and consistency? From this financial stability emerged the space where Rashford finds distance today. His house in Manchester is not a loud statement, but a deliberately chosen retreat. A modern estate with 6 bedrooms, valued at around $6 million, located in a quiet, secluded area. Even from the outside, everything looks controlled and understated. Clear lines, large glass surfaces, and architecture that doesn't want to impress, but rather to soothe. The driveway is kept simple, lined with soft light and subtle greenery. Nothing distracts. Upon entering, a bright entrance area opens up with polished stone floors and a glass staircase that catches the morning light. The rooms follow the same principle: warm colors, open spaces, and furniture that appears intentionally minimalist. There is no room for haste here. In these rooms, everyday life slows down. Conversations with family become quieter. Thoughts organize themselves. The noise of football remains outside. This house is not a symbol of wealth, but of control. For a place where pressure is not repressed, but set aside. But how does this calm continue inside, in the rooms where he really finds peace? The deeper you move into the house, the more palpable the intention behind every detail becomes. The kitchen is not just a functional space, but the bright heart of the home. Clear, light-colored fronts, heavy stone slabs, and 2 generous islands create order and calm. Directly by the window lies the breakfast area, with an unobstructed view of the garden. Here the day begins slowly, without a clamor of voices, without appointments, only with light and silence. On the upper floor, this quiet becomes more personal. The master bedroom feels like a protected sanctuary. Muted colors, soft materials, and even light allow the body to wind down. 2 dressing rooms lead to a bathroom that opens to the landscape and gives the room space without being conspicuous. 3 further bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms follow the same clear line. Everything seems coordinated, nothing accidental. At the very top, 2 additional rooms provide space for guests or focused work. But the real contrast awaits in the basement. Muted light, a private cinema, a gym, as well as a sauna and steam bath create an area dedicated entirely to regeneration. Here the noise finally ends. And yet this is not the quietest place in this house. From the silence of the house, the path leads to a completely different area of his life. Rashford's cars are not mere luxury, but mirrors of different moods. At the top of his collection is the McLaren 765 LT, valued at around $500,000. It is the vehicle in which speed and instinct dominate. Rashford deliberately chose this model because it feels raw, alive, almost untamed. On the first drive, on a clear morning outside Manchester, there was no traffic, no noise, only the V8 engine pulling him forward with the same intensity as a sprint on the pitch. Quite differently, the Rolls-Royce Wraith, worth about $400,000, stands for silence instead of speed. Inside, there is an atmosphere like a shielded lounge. Soft leather, gentle light, heavy doors that completely shut out the outside world. When he drove it with his family on a quiet afternoon, this car became a place of retreat. Luxury here did not mean attention, but peace. The Mercedes-AMG G63 brings a different energy to the garage. Powerful, angular, present. For Rashford, it feels like control on wheels. The last car, the AMG A45S, is smaller, more direct, made for everyday life. Fast, practical, and ready. But what do these vehicles really say about him when the stadium noise finally falls silent? After luxury and speed follows the part of his story that is less visible, but has a deeper impact. Rashford's commitment to the community is not a side project, but an integral part of his life. He has invested more than $5 million in nationwide food aid programs in the United Kingdom. Millions of meals reach children for whom support is often not a given. An open letter to the government changed the public discourse. The result was a political decision that allowed hundreds of thousands of students to continue receiving meal vouchers even during long school breaks. A concrete change with a lasting impact. Furthermore, he expanded his commitment to education. In cooperation with publishers and educational initiatives, he provided over 250,000 books for children who do not have access to libraries. Every single book became a door to a different future. In Manchester, additional funds flow into youth programs, psychological care, and safe spaces for young people. More than $1.2 million were specifically distributed. One part for community centers with after-school programs, another for food aid and learning materials, plus annual funds for therapeutic support for children in crisis. This help happens quietly, without big staging. But what drives him to take on this responsibility time and again? Away from headlines and cameras, Rashford's everyday life is much quieter than many would expect. His days begin calmly, in the soft light falling through the large glass panes of his house. A simple breakfast, a brief moment of reflection, then the focus shifts to work. Training sessions, recovery, tactical drills. Much of this happens away from the public eye, without an audience, without applause. On social media, he rarely offers insights. Sometimes a single photo, a short message like, "Keep going," nothing more. Family remains the firm center of his private life. He often spends evenings in a small circle, with familiar faces, without grand gestures. His closest friends also date back to the time before his fame. People who ground him and remind him of what truly matters. In free moments, he deliberately seeks silence. Short trips within Great Britain, empty coasts, long walks. Sometimes a book, sometimes a run through almost empty streets at night. These routines are unremarkable, yet they keep him in balance. But what emerges from all this when you look at his life as a whole? In the end, it becomes clear that Marcus Rashford's life is not determined by the noise of success, but by quiet decisions. Away from the stadiums, he has created a world for himself based on balance, control, and responsibility. A life that doesn't seek to impress, but rather to sustain. If this look behind the scenes surprised you, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which part of his life moved you the most. We see you in the next story.